Hangley. I'm presenting the final project for NA330 Advanced Analytic Application. The topic is exploring correlation between economic indicators and socio-economic factors. Introduction. This project explores the correlation between economic indicators and socio-economic factors to gain insight into interrelationship. Using extant global country information dataset 2023 with data from 190 countries, we analyze variables such as GDP, population density, education, health care, and environmental aspects. Through the data visualization, correlation analysis, and clustering algorithm, we aim to identify significant patterns and regional trends. The finding will provide valuable knowledge for policymakers, businesses, and researchers, contributing to informed decision-making and sustainable development effect. Dataset description. As you can see on the right side is the data type of the all variable from our dataset. The dataset was generated from Google 2023, 195 countries with certified columns of socio-economic indicator. The data type contain object and float. The key variable interested GDP, population, etc., as we mentioned. There are missing some value for important value for our analysis. Method. We perform data preparation, pre-processing tasks to ensure the data quality and reliability. These include handling missing value, converting data type as needed, and address any data inconsistent or error. Cleaning data will be conducted as well, and we will conduct clustering analysis technique too. Data pre-processing, as you can see on the right hand side, all valuable and the missing data and the percentage. So example of the tax revenue is missing 13%, and the employment rate and education, life expectancy, and birth rate are missing from 3 to 9%. Data cleanings. So on the right hand side, we conduct the data cleaning and we selected 12 variables. You can see here on the 11 because country was not part of that, because country was object data type and the rest are float. We remove dollar sign, percentage sign from original or raw data for our analysis purpose. So we end up with 130 countries of row and 13 column for our analysis. We added the region for each country for clustering analysis purpose. On the right side is the correlation heat map of all 12 variables. Example, you can see on the top left the variable birth rate and fertility rate is approximately 0.98. That means that they are had strong correlation and positive. The fertility rate increase, the birth rate tend to increase as well. For the negative correlation, we value close to -1. Example, the birth rate and life approximately is -0.87. So this means that the birth rate increase, the life expectancy tend to decrease. They are opposite, negative correlations. The weak correlation, there are no linear relationship between the two variables, so they tend to close to one. Example, the population and life, they have no linear relationship between those two. Clustering analysis. Clustering analysis is a technique that groups similar countries based on their characteristics or attributes. We conducting region clustering using clean data set, as I mentioned, 130 rows of country, contain various socioeconomic indicator for different countries. So the heat map to visualize correlation between the indicator. Here is the heat map for all countries with the analysis variable. You cannot see very well because it's so long. But the example here is the log GDP and life. The coefficient is 0.82. This means that the country with higher GDP tend to have longer life expectancy. So another example for percentage health expenditure, and the target variable is 0.62. So it means the country that spend more on healthcare tend to have better health outcome. Region clustering. So as you can see on the right side is the label 0 to 9 is the cluster, and then the region of the cluster as mentioned here, example Latin America, Caribbean, Middle East, North America, Western Europe are clustering in 0 and 1, Southeast Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, etc., etc. So region clustering result, as you can see on the right hand side, is the graph of the variable analysis, GDP, birth rate, life, etc. So example for cluster 0, the cluster characterized by high value for variable log GDP, life, and percentage health expenditure. This suggests that the cluster represents countries with high level of economic development and good healthcare system. So they're good. Cluster 1, this cluster characterized by high value for the value of fertility rate and percentage low education. This suggests that the cluster represents countries with high birth rate and low level education. They have more people but low education. So overall, the cluster graphs show that there are number of different regions represent the data. The cluster can be used to identify countries with similar characteristics, which can be helpful to make comparison and identifying trends. So reach to our conclusion for this project. Overall, this project shed light on correlation between economic indicators and socio-economic factors. The finding comprehensively overview the intricate relationship between economic development, education, healthcare, and demographic in different countries. By conducting this exploratory analysis, we contribute valuable insight that we can be further utilized to understand regional trends, development data-driven policy, and formulated target strategy for socio-economic improvement. In conclusion, this project highlights the significance of exploring correlation between economic indicators and socio-economic factors to gain insight into complexity of global development and address socio-economic challenges effectively. The knowledge obtained through this study can serve as the foundation for future research and policy making endeavors in the field of socio-economic development. Thank you. That's reached to my end of presentation here. Thank you.